He's an artist, he's a philanthropist, he's a visionary, and he's from my home state. I am so pleased to be joined by Marv.P. Oh, good, so good to see you, so good to see you. When you started rapping in 11th grade, did you ever imagine that your career would go to the heights that it has reached?
Yeah, I think I was actually more delusional. So like I wouldn't even say I was like super serious, cause I sung for most of my like childhood and like up to that point. And I always knew like I didn't want to go to college. So like in my head, I was like, oh, I'm gonna graduate. The next year after that is out of here. So like, thankfully though, it didn't, because the music is crazy. The music won it. But yeah, you kind of think so in your head. I think that's important to actually believe it that way, even if it's delusional a bit. But you have to have a pinch of like delusion.
I feel like every successful person says that. Like you have to be delusional. Like even when you don't see it, you don't feel it, you have to feel it, you have to see it.
Yeah, and you may not even be delusional, I think, to you, because you see it, so it's not like delusion to you, but I think it's delusion to like everyone else, because like how do you express like something that no one else can see? So everybody just thinks you're crazy. Especially
something that people around you have never done before either. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it wasn't cool to be a rapper. Like now it's like a lot more cool to be a rapper or an artist, but you know, when sometimes I say a rapper just to troll people, but like it's now way more cool when you say it like in high school, or like you tell your folks like, I want to be a rapper. It's like, and what else? Like,
that sentence, right?
Like this is the thing, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like the thing to do, because like nobody knew a rapper.
When you finally made the decision that you were going to pursue rapping like full-fledged, not go to college, you were like, I'm not doing that. Mm-hmm. What was the response of your family and friends?
Well, my family's small, but when I graduated in 2011 from high school, and I took a year off because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I had like my mom's had passed in 2011, so I was still kind of like grieving and trying to like. When death like that is that close, it's like you kind of question life and a lot of things. So you have to really figure out on a deeper level like life, and you got to figure it out fast, because some people never recover from deaths like that. But I let one of my cousins convince me to go into trade school. And at the moment, it sounded like it made sense, because they're like, oh, you got to have a backup plan. And at that point, I was super serious, like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. Because my mom always supported anything I put my mind to life. I said I wanted to make it to the NFL when I was like a kid. I played football, rec league, high school, middle school. She supported. So I did chorus, she supported. And I said I was gonna rap, she supported. And I don't know how far she believed, but it's like, my son's doing this and I'm gonna support it. That's the type of person she was. So like, I let one of my cousins convince me to like go to trade school. And it was the worst year of my life. Like trade school, I went there, I graduated, I'm on like president's list. I graduated like third in the class at Tower Tech. I got a universal certification, HVAC. For residential and commercial, like all the type
things.
Stuff. Yeah. I get a job. I'm on a commercial. I get a job fresh out of trade school. I work for 1 hour heating and cooling. I worked there for a complete year. It was the worst year of my life, because I worked from like, I had to get up at 6 a.m., be in the meeting at 7:30, and you're in this truck and you're going to people's houses and you're working and doing this job that you really do not want to do until like 8 p.m. every day. And you're doing it over every single day. Because when you get home, you're like exhausted. You shower, eat, sleep. You wake up, do it over again, Monday through Saturday. So the only day you have off is like Sunday. You rest, and then you're back doing it again. And the year went by so fast. And that's when I was like, yo, this is like the stupidest. Like your plan B becomes your plan A. And I see how people get trapped in like those jobs and careers for like 20 years. And one day I made a decision, which I feel like things happen too to help you make decisions. Because I got into it with like the boss's son we got into like a real.
Like you couldn't go back after that.
Nah, see me, yeah. They wanted me to stay, but I didn't like the boss's son at all. Me and him had a few little spats, but that was me thinking like, yo, you're trying to hold on to something that's trying to be removed. So I took that and I was like, I remember I was at home, I'm not going to work tomorrow. And after I made up my mind, like I went to work that next day, but then I quit that night. So I'm on a job and it's just like BS. And I call in, I'm like, yo, I'm supposed to be off. Like, can you send the next guy here, yada, yada. And the owner's son is like, figure it out. Okay. You're staying there till you figure it out. And I was like, oh, okay. Then you're going to figure it out because this lady is still left with no air conditioning. And I just left. The next morning, I like brought the keys up there. And me and him, we had a conversation one-on-one. Just pulled him to the side. I was like, yo, you know. But after that, that's when I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. And I've let somebody talk me into doing something because that's like what everybody else deems success. You know, like if you got a good job, you know, our parents and our grandparents, they only respect like a good job because they didn't grow up in this entrepreneurial like world. So like you got to have a good job to make good money. Then you get a house and then you have kids and you get married or however the order is. But that's like successful in their eyes. Yeah. And if you kind of veer off that that little lane, then it's like you're in uncharted territory. So it's like super sketchy and everybody's looking at you like, yeah, so.
So I feel like you touched on a couple things, one of which was seasons. Identifying, having the discernment to know that when your season is over, it's just time for you to leave. So when you answered that call, essentially to leave, did you feel relief? Did you feel like I just made the biggest mistake of my life?
Yeah, you feel relief in the moment because it's over. You're like, I don't have to go there no more. I hated that place anyway. Until bills start coming in. But I've never been a person to go without a job. So I had like a job like a day or two later, you know, but like the pay is totally different. So now you like, is it worth it? Because I'm like a person, I didn't grow up with much. So like now I don't want for pretty much anything, you know? So like, and I just, if I like it, I probably get it or I probably have it because I liked it, you know? And that's kind of how I do. So like being able to like, having to be like super disciplined to like, I can't buy those Jordans this week. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh man, this is crazy. Was it worth it? And then you just have to make a decision like, you know, and as you get older, you start like to determine what's life about for you.
And then you also touched on basically when you plan A's and plan B's. I feel like we definitely live in a world where it's like people always expect you to have a plan B. Like you gotta have a plan B, you gotta have a plan B. So now in the space that you occupy, do you feel like no more plan B's?
No, a plan B is already failure. If you think of it like that, if you got your mind set out to do something, that's plan A. There is no letters. That's the plan, you know? And once you create a backup plan, you're preparing for that plan to fail. So you're kind of like trying to cushion your fall because you're not, it's just like saying, I'm not going to give my all to this because that's for like, if you're afraid of failure, create a plan B.
So let's go back to your senior year when your mom passed away. And you said that was probably one of the toughest times in your life and navigating that. And you said a lot of people don't bounce back from that. What steps did you take to navigate through that and work through that?
You have to spend time alone. And I can speak for me. I don't know if this is like a society thing, but I don't think a lot of people spend enough time alone in their younger years to really get to know who they are. You know, so that forced me to spend a lot of time alone because my mother was like one of my best friends. So I spent a lot of time trying to like reevaluate life, reevaluate what I thought about life or, you know, because in my opinion, like some of the nicest people in this world go out the worst ways or they go through the most pain. We all got a loved one or somebody that we know that's just like the nicest person and the craziest things happen to them. So it's like, wow, like if that could happen to them, what could happen to me? And either you think like that or you kind of grasp your own concept of like what life is about.
You prefer Marv, but what made you come up with Marv.P as your brand?
It's just an abbreviation of my name. I didn't have a cool rapper name to go by.
Lil Marv,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Lil
yeah.
P, like.
And the craziest part is nobody, my whole life, I had a few nicknames, but nothing to go by. So I went by my name. And it was crazy, though, because after I decided to go by my name, I discovered J. Cole. It's like 2008, 2009. And I was like, he goes by his name. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can go by my name, too. Right. Yeah. Because at first, I have an old name. Like, my name's Marvin. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's no judgment there. I think it's a great name.
It's on paper, it's amazing. Marvin Parker on paper, it's crazy. Like, I'm getting anything. But you don't know who's walking into the room. But yeah, the older I got, the more aged well. It aged well the older I got.
And so I have to ask, so obviously J. Cole, they are kind of influenced you a little bit, but what other artists would you say have had an influence on your career?
Oh, super Kanye fan.
Oh, you're a Kanye fan.
We accept no Kanye slander over here. You too?
I am a Kanye fan.
Okay.
His documentary was amazing.
Yeah.
To see his life, but we won't get into that.
Yeah. I'll say one thing on that.
Yeah.
The people that hate Kanye so much today made him. They made the person they hate. Because if you prove it, and this goes, I guess this can apply to like everybody, if you're constantly having to prove yourself after telling someone time and time and time again, you're going to eventually get fed up with telling them. And like he told people, this is who I am, time and time and time and time again. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. And they just kept like shutting the door in his face, like slapping him in the face. And it was like, now he's like this arrogant person that everybody hates, and it's like, kind of made him this way. But yeah, so Kanye, really because, well, he influenced me because I'm born in the 90s, so I'm born in 93. Yeah. So real 90s baby. So in like the early 2000s, that's like coming out of the gangster era where everybody wore baggy clothes. It was like this thing to be like. Now, my favorite rapper is Jay-Z. So imagine.
We already know that.
Yeah, right? So everybody was trying to be like the Jay-Z's and the Jeezys and all these hood guys. But Kanye was like this guy who just was himself with this polo on, book bag. And yeah, it inspired like swag, it inspired individuality, it inspired like style. And like he made that cool in a time where it wasn't cool. So he had an incredible influence on, I think, between him and 50 Cent, which is weird, was the first two albums I've ever purchased. Graduation was the first time I purchased, and Get Rich or Die Trying. That was the first.
Those are good albums.
Yeah, those first two albums I ever purchased. Yeah.
Those are good albums. So Jay-Z, 50 Cent.
Well, 50 Cent's not in my top 5.
Oh, he's not. Okay.
He's good. He's really good. Not in my top 5 though.
So if 50 Cent walked in right now,
he's still not in my top 5. Okay. He's good. He's just not in my top 5.
Yeah, no, right.
Yeah, my top 5 is Jay-Z, DMX. I would say Andre 3 Stacks. J. Cole, Kanye.
So another thing I love about you is you are very intentional about putting your imprint in the community. Why is that so important to you?
Because somebody has to care, in my opinion. And we have these things, like, I know for me personally, like, you have a list of things you want to do when you become whatever you want to become. And a year ago, I just said, we never become the person we want to become because we're already them. So like you're chasing a ghost, like instead of just walking in that purpose and being the person that you are, you start chasing this ghost because you think you have to be this person. You're already them, so just start doing it. And then I started the back to school drives, the turkey drives, stuff like that. And then I said, okay, every year I'll just try to scale it and get bigger and bigger and bigger. So
people always like say things like, I want to wait till I get big to do X, Y, and Z. And I think that's so profound. It's like, you are already that person. You might not be able to do it on the scale that you want to do it in, but it can happen. You can do something.
Yeah, if you start, I mean, start from somewhere. You can help. You'd be surprised what helping 1 or 2 people do for them, you know. And I just look at it like, I don't have everything in the world, but I'm more fortunate, and I have more than others, and I don't take that for granted. So anytime I'm in a position to help or give or just to be of any assistance to anything positive, I try to be.
Let's go ahead and talk about some new projects that you're working on. I know that later you're going to perform for us. So what can we look forward to?
More stories, definitely more music. I think I've been stingy with the amount of music. Even though I have like quite a bit of music out. Like I looked the other day because we're getting ready for like 2024 and some video things and some promotional things. I was like, I got like 70 songs out when I was looking at my Apple Music. And I was like, that's actually a lot. And I've been stingy because we have so much more. Yeah, so it'll really just be finding new ways to promote the old catalogs, bring them to life, and then talk about the new experiences and things that I'm living through now.
Well, you don't want to move because Marv is going to perform one of his hit singles for us in just a few minutes.
When the sun goes down and the seasons change, can I count on you to be the same? Know when it all falls down and the times get rough, you can count on that and never change. Just know I'm on my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. Promise that'll never change. If so, I'm on my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. Promise me you'll do the same. Stand on my back so many times it gets cold at night. I get chills when the wind starts to blow. It's exhausting when all that you do is fight. This not a life that I choose, I was sure. Before they knew I had a check, they never checked on me. I still remember all the things that they would say to me. From my heart, but I no longer let it get to me. It's just one thing I'm trying to see. Tell me. When the sun goes down and the seasons change, can I count on you to be the same? Know when it all falls down and the times get rough, you can count on that and never change. Just know I'm on my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. Promise that'll never change. If so, I'm on my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. Promise me you'll do the same. Lately I'm scared of love, almost gave it up. Over time, we just been through enough. How we gon' make it if you quittin' during the hard times? It's gotta rain at some point, it can't be sunshine forever. Two stubborn souls stuck in our ways. There ain't no way that it's gon' work if we never change. And we supposed to be in this thing together. That's the only way that we gon' see forever. When the sun goes down and the seasons change, can I count on you to be the same? Know when it all falls down and the times get rough, you can count on that and never change. Just know I'm on my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. Promise that'll never change. If so, I'm on my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. Promise me you'll do the same.